the information and the transmission that we have titled the Interstellar Alliance Social Experiment, Step 1. We would like to explain this concept now that we have entered a new cycle in your year of 2024, because we have delivered information to you over the past 40 of your years, thus completing a cycle of humanity, which are typically in 40-year segments. We now begin a new cycle, a new form of interacting with your society, a new level of transmission, a new guidance of actions and participation and suggestions for what will bring you closer to the vibrational frequency of the Interstellar Alliance and closer to the vibrational frequency of open contact in the years to come. We will be delivering different steps over the course of this year, beginning with step 1 and proceed to step 2, step 3, and so on. But we wish to make it clear that each step we deliver is not just doing that step and then being done with it. Each step that we deliver will be cumulative, additive to the step before it. So you will continue to do step 1, for example, while you are doing step 2. And you will continue to do steps 1 and 2 while you are doing step 3, and so forth. So you will add each step to the previous one, continuing to do them all as we deliver them. But we would like to once again make it clear that it is your choice to do these suggestions, these actions, these steps. You do not have to do them. We are not saying it is an absolute. However, what we are saying is that each step that you do brings you closer to the vibration and frequency of the Interstellar Alliance and closer to the vibrational frequency of open contact. So it is up to you to determine how much of your vibration, of your frequency, you wish to align with the idea of our Interstellar Alliance, with the idea of open contact with us and hybrids and species like us, vibrationally speaking. So you make the determination, you make the choice to participate to whatever degree you are comfortable with. We will let you know that some of these steps may be challenging for many of you. You may not feel comfortable incorporating them into your daily routines, into your daily lives. So again, we leave that up to you and your free will as to what degree to participate in. It is up to you. But we will once again underline and underscore the idea that the more you are willing to take action on these suggestions, and the more fully that you are willing to perform them, the closer you will be to the vibration of the Interstellar Alliance, the closer you will be to aligning with the vibration of open contact with us and others like us. So it is up to you, it is in your hands. Now, the idea again is that we are about to deliver the Interstellar Alliance Social Experiment, Step 1. And next time we will deliver Step 2. And after that, Step 3, and again, so on and so forth. Each being added to the previous one. So, the idea also is to understand that as you engage in these actions, you will be united with others who are also willing to engage. It will be a cumulative effect of all of your energies that will increase the probability of contact over the next few years. But this is countdown to contact year 1. We will go into year 2, year 3. There will be many things that we will suggest that will be actions built upon previous actions that again can have a great deal of impact in allowing you to experience your shift into new versions of Earth that will be more and more representative of your ability to belong to the galactic family of the Interstellar Alliance, and will improve your ability to experience the idea of open contact in many forms. So, again, we leave it up to you. to act on these suggestions, though you may find them somewhat challenging, it is necessary and important for you to start navigating yourself in new directions to be the living examples to your society of what they can also choose for themselves. Again, not that they have to, but if they are willing to move forward with you together, all together in a similar vibration that acts as an open invitation to the Interstellar Alliance and open contact for you to experience this in the years to come. We begin this new cycle now because the potential of open contact is not so far away now. You have made it this far. You have been with us for many years. You have applied to the best of your ability the principles that we have shared with you. Applied the formula in your lives in the best way that you could. Always room for improvement, of course. Always room for more precision, more understanding, a deeper understanding. But you have now enough information with a willingness to apply what it is we have already shared with you. You have enough information and enough energy and enough momentum to begin this new cycle, this new endeavor, this new social experiment, for that is exactly what it is, a social experiment. And while you are doing this, you will notice many behavioral changes within yourself because we are suggesting these behavioral changes, which will make a difference in your experience of physical reality and the world around you. Others will notice this too and may ask you, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you taking these actions? Why are you making these changes? Why are you being different than you used to be? All you really need to do is say you are taking part in an interesting social experiment and simply direct them to the source, which is us, of that information so that they can decide for themselves whether or not they wish to also participate in this social experiment. But that is all you need to say. You do not need to go into great detail about it. We will provide that for you. You can just let them know you are participating in a social experiment that you find interesting, fascinating, challenging, and fun, that you believe will make a difference in the world. But you do not have to provide any details. We will do that for you. It is important for them to come to the source so that there is no misunderstanding, no confusion about what it is we are talking about, what it is we are suggesting. So you do not have to, in any way, shape, or form, bear the responsibility of explaining these ideas to anyone else. Just tell them where they can find them and allow yourself to move forward with your social experiment and your willingness, to whatever degree, to participate within it. So, in a moment now, we will have Nania read to you step 1 of the Interstellar Alliance social experiment, and you can begin to get an understanding of the kinds of things we will be suggesting as we move forward to steps 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So, allow yourselves to prepare, allow yourselves to be in an open energy, relax, let it in, and again remember, you don't have to do these, or you can do some of them, and you can refuse to do any of them at any time, but that will determine what vibrational frequency you are at and to what degree you may be capable of experiencing the Interstellar Alliance and open contact. So it's totally in your hands. Nania, are you prepared to read?
Yes.
All right. Please begin with the Interstellar Alliance social experiment, step 1. And before you say anything, everyone can know that they will be provided with what you call a download of this information so that you can print it out, copy it, have it for your own. And we would suggest that you begin to put all of these into a binder together so that you have an easy reference for each step in any way, shape, or form that you are comfortable accessing them. So this will be the first that you can download. Nania, please read Step 1 of the Interstellar Alliance Social Experiment.
Interstellar Alliance Social Experiment. Step 1. Do not engage in any conversations about conspiracy theories. Do not post or read any such theories. Remain neutral. Do what you can to learn the actual facts of any situation, no matter how long that takes. Do not accept people's opinions and statements as facts without substantial evidence. Many people believing or saying the same thing is not evidence. Some conspiracies exist, but not all are true, no matter how real they may feel. Do not speculate about which parts of a conspiracy theory may be accurate or true. Do not buy into any rumors out of fear or a need to belong. Ignore peer pressure to believe a conspiracy theory. Use common sense and rational discernment to choose what you believe regarding any rumors. Do not believe second or third-hand information. Always check with the original source if possible.
Thank you, Nania. Now, once again, this is step 1. It is an important step to shift your energies because there are many things going on your planet that contain a lot of misinformation, a lot of misdirection, a lot of confusion. Are there conspiracies? Yes, of course. The very idea of the secrecy surrounding extraterrestrials, UFOs, and so forth obviously involves many different people willing to keep a secret, willing to hide information. So yes, we're not saying that some conspiracies don't exist. Obviously, they do. But we will address what parts of it need to be addressed, what actions can be taken on some of those theories that are representative of a more straightforward approach rather than the confusion that exists and surrounds many of these theories that exist in your society. These will be contained in some of the future steps that we will deliver to you. So you do not have to be confused or worry or concern yourselves with which parts of any particular conspiracy theories are accurate. This will be contained in future steps to clarify any of these things in a certain way by the actions we will suggest. But for right now, it will aid and assist greatly in changing the frequency of many people if you will simply disengage from any conversations, discussions, postings, sharings, or involvement or belief in any conspiracy theories at all. It is important now to go into a neutral state with regard to many of those rumors, to allow yourself to set a foundation, a new foundation, a neutral foundation on which to build the future steps that we will deliver. It is about relaxing into your neutral self, pulling back from the things that get people on your planet caught up in all sorts of negative frequencies. It is about your willingness to move forward, to go beyond, and to let go of the idea that many conspiracy theories attempt to get you to buy into. And it is also an understanding that some conspiracy theories are actually put out by the conspiracies themselves in order to make you feel disempowered, because the greatest power that anyone really has is getting you to believe something that may or may not necessarily be true to their advantage. So understand that by letting go of any participation in the idea of conspiracy theories, by letting go of engaging in any such conversations through social media or in person or in any way, shape, or form, you are truly releasing an energy and building a new foundation, a new energy, a clearer, more clarifying energy, a neutral energy that will allow you to incorporate the upcoming steps in a much more powerful way, in a much more precise way. So again, we understand a lot of these changes that we are suggesting, a lot of these steps that we will transmit to you may be challenging for many of you, because we understand that many of you get excited about participating in some of this kind of information. But it is really about letting go of the old ways, letting go of the old world, letting go of the things that have been keeping you in shadow and in darkness for a long time, letting go of what you call the vicious circles, the unknown factors, the constant guessing, the constant wondering. Just let it go. You will be guided. You will open a doorway through which your spirit guides and extraterrestrial beings that are here to serve you can reach you with information and inspiration. But don't invent new things. Allow yourself to simply remain neutral at this point, letting go of any participation in the idea of conspiracy theories. This is a critical first step in the Interstellar Alliance social experiment. And again, if you are questioned about any change in your behavior, it is simply sufficient to say you are now participating in a social experiment to see where it leads. And again, it is up to you to decide to what degree to participate in the steps that we will deliver to you. So it's totally in your hands to whatever degree you are comfortable doing so. But the more you can, the closer you will be to the vibration of open contact. So we thank you for allowing us to share with you this day, step 1 in the social experiment. And in return, we ask now, how may we continue to be of service to you with your dialogues and your questions?
Hi.
Good day, good day.
I'm so incredibly excited to talk to you. Thank you so much for all the work you guys have been doing for such a long time. It's been life-changing.
All right, it is our passion and our pleasure. What would you like to discuss?
Oh, I have like a lot of topics.
We do not have time for a lot of topics.
Perfect.
Pick the ones that you feel are the most important to you at this moment.
Okay. So I guess the most important that's been going around in my head is, how do you guys perceive reality? Like, because we talked about like there are parallel realities happening all the time, different choices leading to different like outcomes. Do you see it all as a bubble, a big blob that's all together, or do you see it like separately?
We perceive it as an overlay of many different realities that stand out as to what degree of probability each of them has based on our present choices and actions. So it's like, in a sense, a constantly rotating wheel, to use a crude analogy, where different things pop up. To whatever degree they stand out lets us know the probability of that particular course of action manifesting according to the choices that we are making at the present moment.
Does that also apply to like when you observe other beings, like humans or other species?
Yes, because we perceive it as a kind of symbolic language that we understand. Certain symbols stand out that represent what the relationship between us and other species are all about, where such relationships might lead, what the probabilities are for the continuation of that relationship and in what direction it may go. We can see all of it simultaneously, but different parts of it may stand out in certain ways, may be brighter or duller, may be closer or farther as one way of expressing it, or maybe certain kinds of symbols that reinforce certain probabilities, while other symbols may diminish those probabilities. We can see it in a variety of ways simultaneously that allows us to navigate in the direction of our choices, of our preference, of that which is aligned to our passions, and that which is in the best service of all concerned.
That's amazing. But is it also like materialized in reality, or is it like a sensory feeling type of thing, perceptive in
It is more of a telepathic perception that seems very real, that completely encompasses our vision as we move through life. It is like walking through a multiple dimensional dream. And we can, as we walk along, see the different symbols showing us which paths may be stronger or which paths may be more diminished according to the choices we are making at every given moment.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. Incredible. And also kind of sounds familiar as well while I'm listening to you.
Yes, well, it's how you operate as a spirit.
Yeah, precisely. Okay, so excited about what's coming up with all of these. I see it as like a scavenger hunt almost, with connecting and doing things to connect with the Interstellar Alliance. I was hoping you can maybe, because I'm not clear who's in it, like who is in the alliance besides Esasani, who is there?
There are many different alliances, many different federations, many different collectives within the universe. We belong to one that contains many different kinds of species. The hybrids all belong to it. Pleiadians belong to it. Sirius beings belong to it. Arcturus energy belongs to it. Many other kinds of beings belong to it. These are the ones that are typical for humans on Earth to connect to because of the idea of the connections that exist in the Interstellar Alliance and the galactic family that you belong to overall.
Amazing. Oh, so excited for what's coming. Perfect. So thinking about the symbol, the triangle with the circle, which represents like that is symbolic for you.
You mean the spiral?
Yes. I saw a symbol on the island of Delos in Greece next to Mykonos, which is a triangle, and it really like resonated with me. It just like popped at me. And it was a triangle and it had a circle on top. And I was wondering, is that also like, do you know what that represents? And maybe can you say a few words about Delos and like the vortex energy I feel that went to Mykonos kind of? I feel like very connected to that.
The idea of the triangle and the circle can have different meanings to different people, but in general, as a collective symbol, it represents the idea of all that is expressing itself in physical reality as a trinity, positive, negative, and neutral.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of your connection has to do with lives you are connecting to simultaneously that allows for the investigation of what you call mystery schools, information that has been hidden for a long time that is now coming to the forefront of your awareness and your consciousness. So those places on the planet were very deeply involved, along with kenosis, as mystery schools that connect all the way back to the information of Atlantis.
Is there something besides following my highest excitement? I feel like there's like an evident thing that's gonna like make something a bit more visible in my reality, but I'm not getting it. Is there some pointer you can give to me? Because I feel like there's a thin veil that I'm not getting through right now on this mission.
Well, by following the formula, of course, synchronicity will bring you the information you need in very specific ways. It may bring it to you in the form of books. It may bring it to you in the form of inspiration. It may bring it to you in the form of teachers, of classes who will dispense information that is necessary for you. But it will also bring it to you in the form of opportunities for you to act on that will be representative of the service that you can provide to others in sharing information that might be beneficial for them to also take advantage of. So by following the formula, you should be able to receive in perfect timing everything you need to move forward.
Perfect. And does this have to do with this idea of, I don't even know how to say, like interdimensional walker motive that I've been getting, or this idea of Victorian energies that I've been kind of thinking I was connecting to, or is it as like a separate thing?
No, it's all included. The idea of Arcturus energy is that which we typically refer to as the Arcturus gate vibration, which means you are connecting to a vibration that doesn't allow you to forget as much as a typical human about your connection to spirituality and source, which is one of the reasons why you are investigating these things and why you're curious about them, because it gives you the opportunity to remember that you are spirit and that it is important to remember yourself as spirit while you are having a human physical experience, and to bring through that kind of energy in whatever way, shape, or form is representative of your passion as a service to others, by being a living example of that energy so that they can see in you an opportunity to have that energy for themselves if they are willing to mirror it.
Beautiful. And the mission and the service is, I almost feel like I should be doing something that doesn't exist right now, or it doesn't
Then
have
you
a kind of
then you can invent it. A lot of times when we talk about the idea of synchronicity bringing you opportunities, doesn't mean all the opportunities have to already exist. Some of these opportunities to take action on may actually have to be created by you, and that's why inspiration is also so important. And imagination is actually one of the forms of abundance, because it may bring to you, if you're willing to be creative and tap into your inspirational imagination, the ability to invent opportunities that are unique and new to your society that you can then act on, that will bring to your society whatever service is required for the continued evolution of humanity.
Is that a part of kind of where we're going together with all this, like what's coming next? Or do you
Yes.
see it as,
Yes.
so
Yes.
exciting. Exciting. Okay.
We will be continuing to deliver steps, different steps that include different kinds of actions and challenges. In the Interstellar Alliance social experiment, we have now delivered step 1. We will continue to deliver other steps that will be built on one another, added to one another, continuing to do the steps that we've already delivered while you add new steps to it. And this will take you into the vibrational frequency that will most strongly align you, if you're willing to act on them, with the Interstellar Alliance and open contact. So we will deliver these steps one at a time.
Amazing. Who is Quark Oak? That's like a total shift, but who is Quark Oak?
We are not understanding the word that you have said. It is breaking up.
Quark Oak.
We have no translation for this at this time. Therefore, it is not our job to deliver that information.
Oh, lovely. More mystery in this mysterious story of my life. I have a million questions, but I just like the final thing I want to express my passion about, and something I would like to hear more from you that I feel like I wasn't addressed as much, is the genesis of language. I feel like that's a beautiful but a big topic, maybe not for now, but...
A brief understanding of it is the idea that it starts with telepathic contact without words, but that as things become denser and more physicalized, then these telepathic symbols are rendered down into a more crystallized form that begins to activate the vocal cords to express different sounds that in the beginning were just sounds that represented the idea of concepts, whole concepts telepathically, different tones that eventually became the idea of different vowels and consonants that then rendered down and crystallized further as the telepathic delivery was lost over time into the construction of what you now call languages.
Yeah, semiotics. And is that like an Anunnaki thing, or is it like something that humans did before?
In the beginning, humans were very telepathic. But again, as they were left to their own devices, over time, due to many different factors we will not go into, they began to lose that ability for the most part, or shall we say more precisely, simply fell into belief systems that didn't allow them to express that ability, which is still with you, and thus it was required and became necessary to, shall we say, phoneticize the ideas, symbolize the ideas in tones and sounds that eventually evolved into your different languages.
Because I remember as a kid, I was telepathic. I literally remember it. But I don't know how the switch happened. I remember a moment. I remember when it happened. I just don't know how and why.
because you have been willing to adopt the idea of themes of exploration that allow you to diminish yourself so that you can expand yourself from a new point of view. It's all part of the idea of the Earth game cycle of rediscovering yourself through the idea of limitation and thus allowing yourself to transform that limitation into freedom.
So kind of where I'm going is I'm going forward, but also backward in a way.
You are using the idea of limitation to go forward to free yourself from limitation.
Beautiful. Is there anything else you would like to add to our exchange?
Not at this time. We thank you very much for the interaction. Aveo.
Aveo.
Hi, Bashar. It's wonderful to meet you. I just had a question about purifying corruption in the spiritual realm or world. How is it possible, or how would you achieve purifying corrupt spirits in the spirit world? And also, how would you best help lost spirits? Just wanted to see your thoughts on that.
There are no corrupt spirits. In spirit reality, it is pure understanding. Now, a spirit can, in a sense, stay in the lower astral realm if it has what you consider to be unfinished business. This is rare, but it can happen. This is what you might call a ghost with unfinished business, or attempting to get a message through to a physical human. But it is not corrupt. It is simply a choice to stay closer to the earth vibration for its own reasons. There is no such thing as a corrupt spirit. Good day, good day.
Good day, Bashar. It's an honor and pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you.
It is our passion and our pleasure to speak with you as well. What would you like to discuss?
Bashar, my first question and a statement concerns divine femininity.
Yes.
Many women on Earth explore and develop their feminine nature. They search for their best divine expression as women on Earth. How would you define the term divine femininity, and would you like to explain for us a little bit more about it?
Divine femininity is a balancing and a willingness to be open, to be receptive, to receive, to be nurturing, to support, to allow, to hold, in a sense, metaphorically, in your hands, the energy of humanity and the desire for it to move forward, to expand, and to grow, even as a child is born and given the ability to grow and expand. So it is about the birthing, the supporting of the energy of the birthing of the evolution of humanity into a larger form, a more expanded form, the willingness to support those endeavors, the willingness to seek balance within the masculine energy to provide opportunities for that balance to be created and experienced so that all may move forward in harmony and peace.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
My next questions are related to nature. We are an extension and expression of nature.
Yes.
Sometimes when I go for a walk, I feel like trees talk to me. I feel in communion with them and feel very blissful in their presence.
Yes, of course.
Would you like to tell me what this blissful experience for me is? And would you like to also tell us how do you feel in nature when you are on your planet?
Well, as you do, but we know for a fact that everything is communicating with us and we communicate back. So we understand everything is made of consciousness. We understand that there is constant communication between everything, just as there is in the cells of your body with each other. And we respond to it, and we go with the flow of it, and it supports us and nurtures us and helps us move forward and helps us all together evolve into a new level and a new form. So the idea is to be open to it, open to receiving that communication, because it is there to help and guide and expand, to help all go together in harmony and move forward in that way, in that energy, in that vibration of love, unconditional love.
Yes, thank you very much. Actually, my last question concerns unconditional love. You told us that unconditional love is a core vibration of everything,
Yes.
and it is the primary language of existence, a vibrational language. You also mentioned that, in a sense, we can learn to speak this language. And my question is, how can we learn the language of unconditional love?
Through the actions that you take that are in alignment with your passion. Because remember, physical reality is a world of physical action. That's the language of physical reality. Actions, not words, not thoughts, actions. So when your actions are aligned with the unconditional love that you experience when you are acting on your passion, then you are speaking the language of unconditional love in physical terms. You are committing to the idea of the truth of your beingness, of your core vibration, your essential self, your connection to source, as existence itself. So it is through your actions, your demonstrations, your commitments to be an expression of unconditional love by acting on your passion that serves humanity best.
Okay, thank you very much. You helped
You are
me a
very
lot.
welcome.
I'm very grateful for this conversation.
And our deep appreciation to you, Aveo.
Aveyo.
Hi, Bashar. I had a question about limits on extremities, specifically the ideas of most and least. So we can obviously experience most and least from a human singular lifetime perspective, but I'm talking big picture, all that there is, all that is now, all that's ever been. Can there ever actually be any notions of most or least? Isn't it true that nothing can actually reach a point of most or least, including ourselves, including everything? So when you say your highest self, that idea and that relationship to what I just said is what I'm questioning. Thank you so much.
When we refer to the idea of the higher self, the higher mind, we are actually talking about your soul, your true self, your soul self. Your soul self is in spirit. It is non-physical. It never leaves that. But it creates within itself the idea of a kind of dream or a projection called the physical mind in order to have a focused experience that you call physical reality. But that's happening within the soul. So the greater portion of the soul, still aware of itself as being a non-physical entity in spirit, in the spirit realm, it then sends energy, communications, messages from that portion of itself, talking in a sense to another portion of itself that you call the physical mind. This physical mind creates what you call the physical reality experience with a so-called physical body, which again is just a projection of spirit, of soul. It's happening within the soul, but it's made to seem as if it's not, so that you can experience the idea of time and space, change and growth, discovery, something new, rather than simply being in a timeless state where you know everything you need to know. So in order to grow, in order to have new discoveries, you create this experience called physical reality within the soul. But that's what the higher mind is. It's the soul, your soul, talking to itself from a higher point of view, talking to the physical mind that is now limited in its focus, but receiving guidance and information and help from the portion of the soul that is still connected, still living, still experiencing the spirit realm with a broader point of view. So it's an internal conversation within the soul. That's all the higher mind is to the physical mind. An internal conversation within the soul from one portion of the soul to another portion of the soul that is experiencing a certain kind of focus.
Hello, Bashar.
Good day, good day.
I'm very excited and grateful for the opportunity to speak to you today.
As are we to speak with you. What would you like to discuss?
Well, out of my scores of questions, I've chosen 3 for today.
All right.
The first is, How can we prevent observations, particularly recurring ones that are in direct contrast to our own positive belief systems, from evolving over time into negative beliefs and definitions?
Well, you have to ask yourself, why at any point would you consider taking on those vibrations as if they are what serves you best? Because they cannot affect you. You cannot experience them. Time has nothing to do with it. Doesn't matter how many times you observe it. At some point, if you start feeling like you're matching those vibrations, you have chosen to do so. So you would have to ask yourself what benefit you're getting out of doing so.
Okay. So my second question is, for decades now, I've been following my highest excitement, which has been creating some very dark and controversial music and artwork. And I faced a great deal of censorship, and progress has been very slow, although it is happening. So this leads me to ask, what is your take on dark artwork and its role in our society?
Well, it can be used in a positive way to point out the idea of the negative energies that may exist in some people, the fears and anxieties that can act in a way as a cathartic experience to allow them the opportunity to let them go. This occurs in many of your books and your movies, where people can go through a safe cathartic experience by experiencing the art that allows them to get in touch with the darkness and the negative and fear-based beliefs within themselves, to process them and let them go. So if it is used that way, then it can serve a positive function by allowing them a safe space to explore those things so they don't have to necessarily act them out physically in your society. If it is used that way, then it can lead to a positive effect.
Very good. That's very much how I feel about it as well. My third question is, would you take me for a ride in your spaceship?
Not at this time.
Not at this
Except
time.
you may do that out of body, but not physically at this time.
Okay.
Your vibration could not handle it in your physical reality, but you can handle it in a different reality. And you have been on many spaceships in a different reality, in an altered state. So, but not physically at this time. It is not vibrationally compatible with your physical reality at this moment.
Interesting. So, seems these questions have gone by fairly quickly, so maybe I could let you know about a dream I had just a couple of nights ago. I was in the dream, I rarely dream, but I had this dream where I was in school and I was in danger of failing, and I was called down to a guidance office, and I was sat across from a guidance counselor. I was very annoyed at this point in the dream. And next thing I know, you walked into the room with keys on your belt as though you were working there. And I was dumbfounded. I said, Bashar? And you said, yes. And I said, is it really you? And you said, yes. And I said, can I ask you a question? At that moment, I woke up, and not 2 days later, I am able to speak to you here.
Yes. Well, again, the idea is that in an astral form, you recognize that you were looking for guidance because the reality that you were experiencing wasn't completely working for you. You needed to get in touch with certain belief systems within yourself about how to continue forward in your life in a way that is truly representative of passion and clarity. And so you were brought to the quote unquote guidance office. A spirit guide was there to help you. And by walking in with the keys, it showed you symbolically that there are keys that you can use to unlock the information that you need. Some of it may be available through the information we have shared with all of you. Some of it may be available through other sources. But what we are doing is presenting you with the keys to the guidance that you need. All you have to do is make sure you are following the guidance, operating, using those keys, the formula, in a very precise way, making sure you know the difference between excitement and anxiety for each choice that you make and why you are choosing it and how it is serving humanity.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Aveo.
Hi, my name is Adam. I'm at the very beginning of my spiritual path. I heard about you from my psychologist, who is really fan of you, likes watching your videos, your perspectives, etc. My question is, what do you know about the Shroud of Turin? Because there are some research which proves the thesis that Jesus was resurrected, and this, the evidence prove that Christianity is right, yeah. And I would ask you, what do you think about it? And what's your perspective about the Shroud of Turin? Thanks for your answer.
It is real. It is an impression of the body of Jesus. When it elevated vibrationally, it left an impression in the cloth. When it transitioned from one state to another, it was a high vibration that created a certain effect in the cloth that imprinted the form of the body within the cloth. Transition to a higher state, yes, you would call it a resurrection, but it was really a shift to a higher state of being and coming out as a quasi-physical being, shifting to a higher state of physical reality that gives off a form of energy, a higher vibrational frequency felt by all those who came in contact with that form of Yeshua, who then ascended by simply shifting the vibration even higher and disappearing into another realm, another reality, a spirit realm, which was perceived by humans as if rising from the earth. But what was actually happening was a shifting of the vibration into the spirit realm.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I followed the formula, and here I am. I'm super excited. It's like winning the lotto.
Oh, all right, if you say so.
I've got 3 questions for you.
Yes.
The first one, my husband has encountered ETs, a small gray, chrome-like being, and 2 other beings, and he's curious as to what the purpose and what's most helpful for him to know at this point.
Well, you are part of the hybridization program. You are part of the evolution of humanity into the 6th hybrid race. So you have many encounters with these beings because you are participating in whatever way, shape, or form is necessary for you to provide information for the hybrids that will ultimately come to live among you in the future.
Thank you. Second question. 5 years ago, I adopted a child at a crisis. First 2 asks, my physical mind said no. The third ask, my higher mind said yes. Since then, this child has been a joy and a gift and my greatest teacher. And I'm curious to know if this was agreed upon between the 2 of us, if there's a purpose, and how can I best serve the purpose?
I think you have already said so. Yes, of course there is an agreement. Things don't happen by accident. And you have said you've already learned a lot, that this child is acting as a teacher for you and you for the child. So you've agreed to reflect to each other what you each need to know to become more of yourselves in this life, more true to who you really are. To teach the idea of self-empowerment, that the power that each individual has is necessary to attract what you need without harming yourself or anyone else in the process, to explore and discover what your passions truly are, so that you understand that you are connected to Source and have everything you need. So you're working together to upgrade each other in whatever way, shape, or form is representative of your passion and your excitement, your curiosity, and your love.
Thank you for that. Next question. I'm new to all this extraterrestrial information and only started learning about 2 months ago. So as I'm learning, I'm wondering if I'm to assist in some way. I want to understand the bigger picture of the extraterrestrials and the hybridization. And I'm curious to know, why is it important for them to be here? How does it
Because they are
benefit us?
family. They are family. We are family. We are part of your genetic material. We're part of your galactic family. There's a lot of your history you don't know that's been lost. You are heading toward becoming the 6th hybrid race. You are heading toward evolving into full humanity over the course of years to come. The hybrids will eventually come to live among you. Eventually, you will mingle. Eventually, you will gain new abilities. Eventually, you will come to live among us, among the stars, and explore other worlds. Eventually, Earth will become the UFOs of other civilizations. You will move out into the cosmos. But you will also ground yourself more connectively to the idea of Earth. You will understand yourselves as extensions of nature. You will express all the things that are true about yourselves more fully in peace and harmony and love. And then eventually, as you become the sixth hybrid race, you will blend with the other five to become the seventh hybrid race that will deliver 100,000 years of peace to the entire galaxy. That's where you're heading.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One last thing. How do I close my perceived gap of separation with all that is?
You do not have to eliminate the idea of separation. You use it to your advantage. Obviously, the idea of focusing your consciousness down into a physical personality has its benefits for allowing you to experience new discoveries about yourself that you would not necessarily be able to fathom in a timeless state, in a non-physical state. So it's not about eliminating the idea of separation while you are physical. It's about using it to your advantage as long as you possibly can to discover new perspectives and new aspects of yourself so that you can grow from that perspective, so that you can change in new ways, so that you can add to the overall experience of all that is.
Thank you, Bashar.
You are welcome. Thank you for your participation. Aveo.
Hi, my question is on indecision. When you have a choice you need to make about an event or a chore or something you need to do that doesn't excite you, that you don't want to do, but you feel like you have to. For example, I have to take my cat to the vet and I don't want to do that because I know she hates it, but I think it's important, but maybe I don't think it's important. And so I'm struggling with indecision and I'm not sure how to proceed. Do I just make a decision and follow that to the best of my ability with no expectation on any outcome? Or is there another formula to deal with indecision of a certain topic that you're not super into? Thank you.
Yes, well, first and foremost, you have to find out within yourself, to use your quote, why you are not super into it. In other words, are you the one dampening the excitement that could be there with your belief system? And is that why the cat is reflecting that it doesn't enjoy this? Because you're putting the damper on it with your beliefs, and the cat is simply reflecting that to you? Is there some way this could be representative of excitement? Or are you not letting yourself believe that it's possible for this to be something that actually could be exciting and important for both of you? Something that could be representative of the passion and reflected back by the cat. If it is truly not representative of your excitement, if you're honest within yourself about the difference between excitement and anxiety and not giving over to a fear-based belief, then you can recognize that it may not be necessary for you to take the animal to the vet. There may be some other way in which the idea can be expressed. But for the most part, if you feel the animal requires the assistance of someone who understands how to help the cat, how to heal the cat from an injury or a disease or something of that nature, you would have to ask yourself why you would be reluctant to follow through with that and why it wouldn't be exciting to find someone who can help the cat. So you have to examine yourself to find out if you're the one dampening the excitement and the cat is just reflecting that anxiety, or whether or not it is true that it is not representative of your passion to not go to the veterinarian whose job it is to help the animal. Or maybe you just haven't found the veterinarian you're excited about. You have to explore all these things. You have to explore all these paths, but you have to be honest within yourself about what the cat is reflecting to you about yourself and your beliefs. And that will help clarify the idea of your indecision. You have to get in touch with yourself to find out what you really feel and what you really believe about the idea of taking an injured animal to a veterinarian and why that doesn't seem to be exciting to you.
Hey, Bashar, how are you?
Perfect, and you?
I am doing well, thank you.
All right.
My first question would be, is if the SSani are a hybridization of current humans and higher level entities, are we also able to tap into their frequency, and have they ever tried to channel through other humans?
You talking about my people, the Sasani?
Yes, sir.
Yes. There have been a few that have channeled through other humans. Not me personally. I am limited to this particular human, but the idea is that other members of my society that are also first contact specialists have engaged with other humans on your planet from time to time in a variety of ways. You can all tap into our general collective vibration in order to align with it by holding the image as we have described it in your mind in a meditative state of a black equilateral triangle pointing upwards against a black background, but separated from the black background by a deep pulsating blue light, similar to the blue that you see in a gas flame. So the idea is that that's kind of like our vibrational phone number that allows you to tap into our collective consciousness and align with it for whatever way it might serve your passion to express it creatively in your reality.
I understand that. My second question would be, is oftentimes I feel as if something is attempting to come through during meditations, and even then, sometimes I get the visions of certain ascended masters, namely like Jesus,
Yes.
Buddha, and beings of that nature.
Yes.
And oftentimes, I'm not sure if they're truly trying to contact me or if it is my own subconscious trying to relay a message with
Well, it's
using
both.
them.
It can be both. It can be both. It's not about spending time wondering who it is or exactly where it's coming from. It's what do you want to do with this? How do you want to express it? How do you want to be of service to others in the downloading of this information and this connection? What do you want to do with it?
I want to be able to understand my place within consciousness and to truly find a way to use the gifts that we do have to experience consciousness even further and to allow other people to experience the same.
Well, then all you have to do is follow the formula that we've given to all of you.
I understand. And then
So it's as simple
my,
as that. So do you want to express this energy in a particular action?
I currently do a mixture of gymnastics and dance, and that's the most freeing way I can express that energy.
All right, well, that's fine. If there's any other ways that come to you, then by all means, if they're representative of your passion and allow you to feel that freedom, then act on them. That's all you have to do.
Okay.
Then you are being of service to others by being a living example of acting on your passion so that they can see and feel and experience through you ways in which they may be able to do that as well.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
My last question is, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. I would like to understand what your view of consciousness is from your perspective.
Consciousness is the awareness of existence itself. It is what existence is. It is aware of itself, and that is consciousness. And everything is a part of existence. Everything is a reflection of existence. And that reflection creates self-awareness, and self-awareness is consciousness. It is a reflection.
It is a reflection.
Let me put it to you this way. There is the concept called the One. It is unbroken. It is homogeneous. It has no separation. It is unaware of itself because there is nothing else but it. So in the One is created a pattern of energy, so to speak, a reflective pattern that creates the appearance of something other than the One. As soon as you have this idea, this appearance of something other than, then you automatically have the creation of awareness of self other than what it is you are experiencing. So it is the very concept of other thanness that creates self-awareness as different from the other. And as soon as that exists within a pattern, you have consciousness, because all consciousness is self-awareness. But it requires that reflection of otherness, that which you deem not necessarily to be the self, that creates the reinforcement of the self as different from it. Is this making some sense to you? We understand that this is an interesting concept that doesn't necessarily completely translate into your human language, but that's about the closest approximation we can make.
And that absolutely makes sense. And it's just for, and I've been working towards trying my best to understand that in the easiest way that I know how, because lately I felt that same kind of reflection and pulse of energy shaking my world, so to speak,
All right.
and kind of reflecting through the rest of the world from that perspective.
All right. Well, how exciting.
It is very much so.
All right. So does
Thank
that
you
serve
so
you?
much. Yes, yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. Aveo.
Aveo.
Oh my God.
Good day. Good day.
Hi, Bashar. I'm
Good
so
day.
excited to be here.
All right. Our deep appreciation at the co-creation of this interaction. What would you like to discuss?
Yeah, so it's been kind of an interesting week, actually. I was super nervous all week and trying to come up with different questions to ask.
Why are you
It seemed like-
nervous? Why are
I
you
don't know. I
nervous?
get nervous really easy.
All right. Well, why do you choose to have that experience? Do you not necessarily mean that you are simply getting excited?
No, I am. I'm super excited. I think that's why. And I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to come up with questions that can help everybody. And but
Why?
it just, because I almost felt selfish to get this opportunity and just ask questions that are more personal. And
It's up to you. It doesn't matter. Again, anything that we discuss will help someone.
okay.
You have to allow yourself to relax back into your true self. It's not about taking on the responsibility of the world. You can't be responsible for others. They make their own choices. No matter what gifts you have to share with them, it's none of your business what they do with that information anyway, because that's not your life path. Your life path is to simply be yourself, share whatever gifts you have to share, but let go of what other people do with that information, because that's not your business. So remove the weight from your shoulders.
Okay. I'm actually curious though, because this week what happened was every question I had, I ended up like running into a video or a book or something like that that answered it. And I know when you ask
That's
me
how
questions,
synchronicity works.
it just happened so fast though. I'm like, wait.
That's how synchronicity works.
Okay.
It eliminates the time lag when you are operating on the high frequency of matching the frequency of synchronicity, because everything is synchronicity. So when you're matching the frequency of the physical reality that you're creating, synchronicity works very quickly. You start to see the connections between everything.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's been really fast. So it makes sense.
Yes.
So I guess my question is, one of them anyways, is in December, I had a dream where I was being lifted up into a ship and had like a purple triangular shape below it. Was that just a dream that I was having, or was that a real experience?
It's a memory of an experience,
Okay.
but it takes place in an altered reality.
Okay.
Then
Who
you
was
create
that?
then you create in your physical mind a dream to symbolically represent it, because that's the closest analogy you can create in physical reality. They were hybrids.
Hybrids. Okay. So I am part of the hybrid program. Is that right?
Yes, most people that find us and communicate with us, not all, but most, are part of the hybridization program. Yes.
Okay. I thought so. That was good confirmation. The other question I have is so I really enjoy energy healing.
Yes.
But I don't have any like open clairs, like I'm not clairvoyant or anything like that. So
That you know of.
okay. I feel like I don't have a lot to offer. I really love it, but I feel like I'm just not able to offer a lot. So is there
Again, you have to divest yourself of this idea that you are supposed to take on the responsibility of the world. What you have to give, if it gives you joy, is enough. You have to just be yourself. Stop judging yourself. Stop limiting yourself. You are the one then that is taking that energy away from those that you purport to give it to, by not just simply allowing it to be an action of joy for you. That's what they're going to pick up on. Stop judging yourself for not doing enough.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really bad at that, so that makes sense. I do judge myself a lot, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to get things right. And
Yes, but that means you're actually getting them wrong.
okay, huh?
So when you just relax and just give naturally and just have fun doing it, that's when you're giving the most. That's when you're doing your best. Just relax and give and share.
Okay.
That's enough.
Okay. Yeah, I'm such a worrier. I don't know why. Since a little kid, I've always worried and
Because you believe that you aren't good enough.
Mm.
You are.
okay. Okay.
Just let it go. Just let it go. It doesn't serve you. Just let it go. You are good enough. Just do what it is you're passionate to do. It is enough. You are enough. Just be yourself. That's all you have to do. Just be yourself. Have fun being yourself. Share what is fun for you to share. And know that's enough.
Okay. I know. I know this. I do know this. It's just it's harder to
You do not know it. You do not know it if it's not in your actions.
True. I guess I tell myself like I know I'm enough. I tell myself this, but then I guess I just don't believe
That's
it.
not enough. You have to know you are enough. And when you know you are enough, it will be in your behavior, not just in your thoughts. You are enough. Let go. You're helping people. It's enough.
Okay.
Relax.
Okay. And then just my last question I have is I'm just curious too. Whenever me and my mom get together and I do energy healing on her, she says she always sees a little blonde haired boy, and I didn't know if you knew who that was.
It's a connection to a hybrid child.
Oh, wow. So her hybrid child or like my hybrid child?
We're going to let that continue to be a mystery for both.
Oh, no. No. Okay. And then, I mean, it seems like too, whenever I do any kind of sessions, that there's a lot around me. Is that true or?
Yes. You always have help. Just let it through. It's
Okay.
enough. You're enough. The help is there. Just know that it's there. Just do what you do.
Okay.
All
Well,
right?
thank you, Star. That's it pretty much today.
All right. Aveo.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Hello, Bashar. There was one time when I was sleeping, I just feel like I got into a tunnel. My heart beat fast, and I can also hear the sound of vibration. And the tunnel got brighter and brighter. Suddenly, I just find that I came into another world. And in that world, my mind is very clear, and it seems like that I can know everything. But suddenly, my emotion came. It just drew me back to this world. And these years I tried many times to recreate this experience, but not successful. But every time when I tried it, I feel that my spirit body is floating, and I can also hear the sound of vibration. That's all. I just wanna ask, is there any guidance to the next step when I feel my spirit body is floating? Thank you so much.
Yes, it's not about recreating that experience. You tapped into your spirit self, where you are unlimited, where you know everything. But it's not about just recreating that experience. It's about bringing that experience down to earth. It's about bringing that energy through you by following your passion and acting on it, and bringing that energy to the world in service to humanity. So stop trying to recreate the spirit experience and remember what it felt like. And from that feeling, take the actions in physical reality that are representative of your passion. You are of the correct vibration when you remember how it felt to be in the spirit realm. So when you remember how it felt, then act from that feeling, act from that vibration in physical terms to be of service to humanity by acting on your passion.
Hello, Tateo.
Nania.
We have lots of exciting questions from our viewers.
All right.
The first question is, are there rules or guidelines within the Alliance that every member needs to follow?
Well, you already know of one. We have talked about the idea of what your people refer to as the Prime Directive, the Non-Interference Directive. This is a primary condition of being a member of the Interstellar Alliance, is that we do not intervene or interfere in certain circumstances with developing civilizations. We can guide, we can share information when such a civilization reaches a certain point, if they reach that point, of openness and willingness to receive such information. But beyond a certain point, we cannot impose ourselves upon that civilization until they themselves express a willingness to interact on a certain level